Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to your July tarot reading. I hope you're doing well, and as always, remember these are general messages, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If you do enjoy readings like this, don't forget to hit that like button and maybe subscribe. And let's see what Spirit has in store for you this month. So, your main energy is the Seven of Cups, Aquarius, and this is the overall energy for July. So straight away, I feel like many of you are standing at a crossroads. There are choices around you, possibilities opening up, and perhaps even several different paths that you could take. Some of you may be feeling excited about the opportunities ahead, while others are probably wondering which direction is actually the right one for you. So Spirit is asking you not to become distracted by what simply looks appealing, because not every opportunity is meant for you. And not every promise will deliver what it seems. This month is where your intuition is going to be far more reliable than appearances. I feel like some of you may have been dreaming about making a big change, whether that's in your career, your home, your relationships, or even your spiritual journey. So July is encouraging you to explore those dreams, but stay grounded while you do it. The right path won't leave you feeling confused. It'll be a quiet sense of knowing. Then we arrive at Temperance. And behind all of this is one of the most beautifulest energies that you could receive. I don't know if beautifulest is the right word, but there you go. So your hidden blessings is balance, healing, and harmony. While everything may appear to be changing externally, internally you're finding a new sense of peace. So some of you have been healing from disappointments, grief, or emotional exhaustion. And July brings evidence that all of that inner work has not been wasted. So this card also reminds you not to force outcomes, because divine timing is working quietly behind the scenes, blending together circumstances that you cannot see yet. So for some of you, this could even be represented with a reconciliation or finding common ground with somebody. Maybe you're feeling emotionally settled after a long period of uncertainty, but trust the process. What is meant for you is already finding its way towards you. Now, this is interesting because your challenge this month is the Wheel of Fortune. So life appears to be moving whether you're ready or not. The universe may begin opening doors that you've been waiting for, but it could also close others that have already served their purpose. The change isn't always comfortable, especially when you like to understand where you're headed before you take that next step. But some events may seem unexpected. Plans could shift and circumstances may change quickly. Or something you've been trying to control simply takes life of its own. So Spirit is reminding you that this isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. And the Wheel of Fortune represents divine timing. And although you may not understand everything in the moment, you're likely to look back at it later and realize that each event was positioning you exactly where you needed to be. So go with it. So your area of personal growth comes through the Ten of Swords. And this tells me that there's something you've been holding on to that has already ended emotionally. Perhaps not completely in your heart or mind, but it has ended. And the card often arrives when Spirit's saying it's time to stop carrying what no longer belongs into your future. Now, whether this is an old relationship, a disappointment, betrayal, fear, or simply an old version of yourself, July asks you to finally lay it to rest. The beautiful thing about the Ten of Swords is although the image looks difficult, the sun is already beginning to rise. So the darkest moment has already happened. Your future doesn't begin when your circumstances change. It begins the moment you allow yourself to believe in a new chapter that being possible. Then we move on to your message from Spirit. And we have the World. And this tells me that you're completing a huge chapter in your life. So many of you have worked incredibly hard to reach this point, even if nobody else has seen all the hard work you've been doing behind the scenes. Spirit wants you to acknowledge your own growth. You're not the same person that you were 6 months ago. Completion always creates space for expansion, and once one door finally closes, another can finally open. There is a real feeling here that July marks the end of one cycle and the beginning of something much more aligned with who you are becoming. And then your unexpected influences is the Tower. Now, don't panic when you see the Tower. People often fear this card, but in reality, it's one of the most transformative cards in the deck. The unexpected influence this month may come through a sudden truth, surprising news, or circumstances that force you to change more quickly than anticipated. And remember, if something falls away, it's because it wasn't built on foundations strong enough to support where you are heading next. The Tower removes any illusions. It clears away what has become unstable so that something far stronger can take its place. So for many of you, what first felt like destruction could later become the breakthrough that you have been asking the universe for. Aquarius, this already feels like an incredible, powerful reading. You have cards of destiny, healing, ending, completion, and transformation all appearing together. So it feels like July is a genuine turning point. Now let's see what the clarification cards reveal, because I have a feeling they're going to explain exactly where all of this change is leading. And these cards are going to add another layer to this reading. And Aquarius, they're already telling quite a remarkable story. So with the Seven of Cups, it's clarified by the Eight of Cups. The Seven of Cups shows you are surrounded by choices, but the Eight of Cups tells us which choice Spirit hopes you're going to make. This isn't about chasing every opportunity. It's about recognizing when something no longer fulfills you emotionally and having the courage to walk away. Some of you have been trying to make a situation work simply because you're so invested into it. You've invested all this time and all this energy. And whether that's a relationship, a job, a friendship, or even an old dream, deep down you know that you've outgrown it. So the Eight of Cups isn't walking away in defeat. It's walking away towards something that has greater meaning. Your intuition has been nudging you for some time, and July may finally be the month where you start listening. You begin choosing peace over familiarity and purpose over comfort. And once you make that decision, the confusion of the Seven of Cups begins to disappear. And then you have with the Chariot. Now, Temperance asks you to trust divine timing, while the Chariot says that once everything aligns, things move quickly. It's almost as though Spirit has been preparing you behind the scenes, helping you become emotionally balanced before opening the next door. When that opportunity arrives, don't hesitate through fear. The Chariot is confidence, it's determination, it's moving forward despite uncertainty, because you know exactly where you are heading. So for some of you, this may involve traveling, relocating, changing careers, or simply taking control of your own life again after feeling like circumstances have been at the steering wheel. July feels like a month where you take those reins back. Then we have the Nine of Cups, and this is a beautiful clarification. So the Wheel of Fortune suggests that destiny is turning in your favor. And now the Nine of Cups tells you exactly where it's leading. So this is often called the wish fulfillment card. So something you've hoped for, prayed for, quietly wished for may begin coming into your reality. Now, it may not happen exactly how you imagined, but Spirit is showing you that your circumstances are improving. The challenge this month is believing that you deserve what is arriving. Aquarius, you can sometimes focus so much on what's next that you forget to appreciate how far you have already come. So take that moment to acknowledge your progress, because the universe certainly has. So the Ten of Swords is clarified by the Seven of Swords, and this combination is pretty fascinating because obviously the Ten of Swords showed an ending, and the Seven of Swords suggests that part of what you've been leaving behind involves dishonesty, avoidance, or someone who wasn't being completely transparent. For some of you, this could be someone who withheld information or failed to appreciate your loyalty. And for others, it may simply represent old patterns of self-doubt or avoiding difficult truths. Spirit wants you to stop carrying burdens that were never yours to carry. Once you recognize what has been draining your energy, you're able to leave it behind without looking back. The ending here creates freedom rather than a loss, and the world clarifies. The Queen of Cups next, and Spirit now showing you exactly who you are becoming. The Queen of Cups is emotionally mature, deeply intuitive, and completely connected to herself. She doesn't seek validation because she already knows her worth. And after everything you've experienced, you're stepping into a version of yourself that trusts your instincts far more than outside opinions. This could also represent a compassionate woman entering your life, or simply the emotional stability that you've been working towards for such a long time. So combine that with the world, and this says that your greatest achievement isn't something external, it's the person you've become. Then we move on to the Tower, which is clarified by the Ace of Wands. And this is probably my favorite combination of the entire reading. Because yes, the Tower brings sudden change, but look at what comes immediately afterwards. The Ace of Wands. One door closes and another opens almost immediately. This is fresh inspiration, exciting opportunities, creative breakthroughs. It could even be new beginnings and a renewed passion for life. Whatever the Tower removes, it creates space for something far more exciting than what existed in the first place. So instead of fearing this unexpected change this month, try asking yourself, what new beginnings is this making room for? Because that's exactly what Spirit appears to be doing for you. So, Aquarius, this is one of those readings that every card builds on the one before it. It begins with uncertainty and too many choices, but ends with confidence, emotional fulfillment, and an exciting new beginning. The message from Spirit is clear. You've been guided away from what no longer aligns with your soul and towards a life that feels much more authentic. Some endings may happen suddenly and some choices may require courage, but every major card here points towards growth rather than loss. There's a beautiful progression through this reading, walking away with the Eight of Cups, wishes being fulfilled with the Nine of Cups, taking control with the Chariot, and leaving deception and everything behind with the Seven of Swords. You are literally stepping into emotional wisdom when you get to the Queen of Cups and finally embracing a powerful new beginning with the Ace of Wands. So July feels less like an ordinary month and more like a turning point. By the time you reach the end of it, you may realize that what first looked like disruption was actually the universe clearing the path towards something you've been waiting for all along. So thank you for being here. If this reading resonated with you, I'd love to hear in the comments which card spoke to you the most. And thank you so much for spending this time with me. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you in the next reading. So until then, take care of yourself, Aquarius, and keep trusting in your journey. Lots of love and light.